Hey Virgo, it's Empress Rose. Welcome to your reading. These are very general readings, so take what works, leave what doesn't. If I don't catch your storyline wave today, go check your moon, rising, and Venus signs. And also, you can contact me at empressrose1111 at Gmail for a personal reading, and I'll let you know how all that works. Sorry about the lighting. I prefer natural light, but I didn't wake up in time. That's just not how the day went. That's just not how it went today. So, all right, we're going to start with, so I'm bothered by this lighting quite a bit, but whatever. Okay, Oracle of Mystical Moments. We're going to get an intuitive vibe. What does Virgo need to know this week? What's a message for Virgo? Most useful message for Virgo this week. What's the most useful message? Let's see if another one wants to pop out. It just felt really weird. Okay. All right, so we have, oh, this is kind of cool. So we have all is connected. This represents a change. Change is happening. Obviously, we have these. I mean, I'm going to just give you the overview here. We've got this change of seasons. You're standing still while literally everything around you is changing. You're trying to stand still and you're watching spring, summer, fall, and winter all happen at once. And you're standing there. So your whole life, this is a very massive change going on here for you. Everything's changing and you're standing still in the center of it. On either, flanking that on either side, we have a spring card and a fall card, okay? So I'm going to start with the fall card. We have Anansi in this card. Anansi is a storyteller. So this card to me is about how everything is connected, and in particular, both of these cards. Jesus, I think these cards came out for like Leo last week. Everything is connected. This is such an exciting set of cards. That's why I remember it. So Anansi is here telling us that the stories we tell ourselves have a profound effect on the world around us and how we move through that world and how we interact with that world. The stories we tell ourselves as a culture create the culture. So this is where like storytelling, movies, novels, all that stuff like is part of creating our whole culture moving forward and where we go and what we value and all of that. So, but the same is true on a personal level, where the stories you tell yourself that you're a success, that you're a failure, that you're that this situation was really unfair, or that look what I overcame. The way we frame the things that happen to us actually profoundly affect where we're going next and how we move forward with our lives. So that's what Anansi's here to tell you, is this all connected, in particular, your brain and how you're choosing, and it is a choice. Once you know about it, it's a choice. Before you know about it, that it's a choice. It's not a choice. Does that make sense? It does. It does. I'm just going to tell you that makes sense. And then matching this is bloom. This is just the mind expanding pretty, it says bloom, but I hear a boom when I see this card. It's just this massive growth, expansion, blooming of the mind. You're starting to see how things are fitting together and connected. And this is just like this, your brain is sort of like, there's a meditation I like about it where it's like a limitless meditation. So you're starting to understand how limitless you could be, and you are, and how your brain has these connections to other things. I mean, these are both like spider web vibes, and spider web to me is a story that we've woven, and your story is just blooming, and you're seeing it all now, and you're seeing how this is all like connected. You're listening, you're very deeply listening In this card, this bloom card, you've got these roses blooming out of your ears right here. So you're hearing, you're listening to your intuition, you're listening to stories, you're listening possibly even to your own story here. And it's having this transformative effect. As your world is changing, you are completely changing, and the way you're framing the world is completely changing. So there's just a lot of massive change and deep interconnectedness. And as everything else is changing, so are you. And so this is why everything's changing. Everything's changing in and out. I mean, here you're standing very still while this change is happening around you. But we're also getting these cards showing that it's having a profound effect on you, on the inside of you. And you're sort of having an awakening, realizations. Just your mind is really opening up to a lot of possibilities and starting to see things and see how everything is connected and how everybody is connected, and maybe even how different parts of your life are connected that you maybe weren't understanding before what that's about. And you're having realizations and understanding about what that's about and how it's connected to this other thing and how it's connected to this other thing. And so this is like a real awakening vibe to something here. And there's so much change inside and out. You're watching it all happen. There's the observer inside of you that's observing everything and watching this all happen, watching yourself change, watching the world change. There's a calmness to you, though, as this all happens and unfolds. You're not panicked. You're not worried. All right. Moonology deck is where we're moving next. Just kind of move forward without telling you anything about it. All right. All right, Moonology, what do we have for Virgos? Okay, we'll take that too. So we have 3 cards for Virgos, which is unusual for my Moonology here. Or it's unusual in my mind. Oh, we have a matching set here. Matching set. And then we have this full moon. So we've got 3 cards from both of these. That's really interesting. We have the spring card and the fall card, and we have a waning moon and a mutable moon and a full moon. So we have the full moon, surrender to the divine. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say there, but that's this change of seasons card right here, surrendering to the divine, surrendering to the changings going on around you and the way you're changing. And there are forces at work here that are huge and are changing the world that we live in right now and changing us in the world. And just surrender. I think that's a really, surrender to this change, the change of seasons. You might be entering a new season of your life. That seems pretty obvious now that I say it, but you might be entering a new season of your life, and to surrender to that change. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Because it's divine. There's a divinity to the changes that you're undergoing and you're experiencing right now. They're divinely guided, and they're meant to be happening right now, and they're meant to be happening in your world. This is the divine timing that we all talk about, and it's happening right now for you. I mean, we're never outside of the divine's plan, of course, or not plan. I don't want to call it a plan, because that just seems like when bad things happen, you're like, fuck you, that's a fucked up plan. You plan that, you fucking asshole. But like the whole overall thing that goes on here, I don't understand divine timing. I'm sorry. It's happening all of the time, though. And none of us we're all exactly where we need to be, and none of us are ever outside of that. And I don't understand that intellectually, and that bothers me, but there we are. Okay, waning moon, what do you need to release? So it's a time to let go of things that aren't working for you, things that aren't serving you. The fall leaves, it's time to release that. So there's a time where you're letting go of a part of yourself or something that you've come to rely on and think about and define yourself. You're releasing a story about yourself, a definition of yourself. I mean, that's one thing I've learned recently thanks to my daughter, is just how limiting definitions can be, and when we define ourselves. So this could be something that you're letting go of, is some sort of definition, some sort of story you've told about yourself. I'm like this, I'm like that. Those stories can be so limiting and so destructive. And one of my favorite parenting books had a saying, labeling is disabling. So that's what I'm getting from this, is that you need to release and possibly a story, because labeling is really a little bit of a story about someone. You know, he's shy. Okay, well, maybe he's feeling shy, but if we define him as shy, then does that box him in? Then he feels like, oh, I can't be not shy because I'm shy. So that's a little bit of this Anansi, the story we're telling about ourselves. So I think that you need to release some sort of story that you're telling about yourself. And nothing is yet set in stone, which I'm seeing with this like mind opening situation. And I think that this too, mutable moon, I think this too is talking about, so we have this like swishy ocean here that's just, you can really sense the churning here. So everything is, I think this is referring to also with everything changing, nothing's set in stone. It's a real liminal state where we're not 100% sure what the outcome is going to be yet. So here you are in the middle of this massive change. You're needing to surrender, you're needing to release, you're needing to let go or understand how the stories we tell about ourselves like affect the outcome. So I think that's what I might be saying here too, is nothing is yet set in stone. Like, and the story you're telling about yourself is having an effect. And so really be thinking about how you want that turning out and where you want your story to take you. That's what I think or feel. All right, we're moving on to the Santa Muerte. Oh my God, we're like 12 minutes into this. We're going to move on to the Santa Muerte and get the overall thing, or get the other part of the reading here. This is your past, Virgo. This is your present. This is your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. In your recent past, you've done a lot of self-reflection here. Just a lot. Here we have the moon showing up again. Well, of course, it's going to show up in the Moonology deck, but we have the moon here. This is a lot of self-reflection. I mean, layers and layers and layers of self-reflection. You've been really diving deep here. There's not been a lot of clarity for you, but you've really gotten in touch with your intuition. You've really done a lot of introspection, a lot of thought, a lot of meditation, a lot of, looking at who you are. And I think this is coming into this all is connected in the story we're telling about ourselves. You've really done an amazing job navigating a pretty dark situation or some darkness or a lot of lack of clarity, and looking inside yourself for that clarity and for that understanding and that intuition. So bravo you, Virgo. You've done a lot of self-reflection. At the present, you're either internally or externally, you're having a situation that's taking all of your strength to deal with it. You're needing a lot of patience. You're needing to just, there's just some sort of situation that you're in right now that's just exhausting you. You're winning, so that's good. This could be an internal demon, or this could just be an unwieldy situation that's just been very difficult to deal with and has taken a lot out of you. So and that's in your present situation. You're being called on to use all of your strength to deal with something. And then in your inner landscape, you have this King of Pentacles. So you're feeling a little maybe stubborn. You're definitely feeling like you have what you need. You've worked very hard, and we're recognizing that with this moon card here from your recent past. You've worked very hard. You have this treasure. It's definitely yours. This is King energy. This is, you've got your physical situation taken care of, your job, your house. This is all like you're feeling very secure in this stuff. And this might be a little bit why you're just standing here watching these. I mean, I was noting how calm you seem in this storm. So even though you're having to do a lot of self-examination and a lot of things are changing, you're feeling pretty secure in where you're at, and pretty accomplished and pretty okay. Your physical environment feels good to you right now, and internally you've got the treasure. Like, you did this work and you've got this treasure inside you, and it's yours. You know, you've gotten what you needed to get. It took all of your strength to get this, but you have this thing now. It's yours. This understanding of yourself, this understanding of where you are in this world, and you have it. You're feeling, you know, really secure in and where you're at. You might be a little stubborn, and feeling a little stubborn and a little possessive. You might be feeling a little possessive. You know, we are asking questions on what you need to release here. So, and then this Eight of Cups. So we usually take this in the reverse, and this is just having a lot on your mind, and you may be feeling mentally drained right now. I usually take this in the reverse. But it's a similar vibe in the reverse, this Eight of Cups. This could be just feeling drained, mentally drained. You've just been through this huge process here, and you might be just feeling tired and mentally drained. And that's sort of what's keeping this process, or that's what's causing a problem for you right now. It's just feeling very drained, very mentally drained. This, in the upright, we're seeing the Eight of Cups as a heaviness on the mind, and I'm seeing these cups like emptied and just sort of like drained. So you're not necessarily, you're feeling a little tired, a little tired here, I think. And I think you do still have a lot on your mind. And then in your environment, you have a person, a Page of Pentacles, someone who's just learning, maybe just starting out on their career, just starting out with their money management, just starting out on something, some new sort of concrete journey. They're starting to harvest things, but they're at the beginning. And here, internally, you're definitely feeling like a king. You feel very secure in what you've accomplished and where you're at in life. But there's someone around you that is just sort of beginning on a similar journey that you feel secure on and you feel good with. So this is a person this is probably a real person in your environment that you're interacting with that's just starting a harvest, and is just kind of curious about, oh, what's this? Oh my gosh. Wow, that's cool. You know, they're just discovering sort of maybe some joys of the material world, or some joys of their work. They're just getting started on a career here. Yep. I don't know. Yeah. Wow. We have Pentacles. This is like, so we're referencing some sort of money or work situation here, or something very real world and concrete. So in your environment, there's this Page of Pentacles, this newbie that's just beginning the harvest and is pretty excited about moving forward, pretty excited about kind of a whole new world that they're experiencing. You may be happy for them. This whole newbie stuff may be a little annoying for you. But that's the person that's in your environment right now. Or this could be a situation in your environment where you've done this hard work and you're just beginning to reap the rewards. You've picked your first fruit. You've harvested your first apple of the season, you know, and you've been through all of this. A lot's changed, and you're just kind of starting to see the beginning of the fruits of your labor come in. So, and then on your to-do list is this Knight of Pentacles. Really, Virgo. This is like, okay, this is kind of a hold energy. Hold what you've got. Hold on. Hold your horses. Not moving forward. This can be an annoying, stubborn energy. But you're being called into that. You're being called to just look at where you're going. Just look to the future. Look where you're going. Make a plan. Figure it out. Hold on to what's yours. I mean, there's so much about, we have the King of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles. We got like this whole, we don't have the Queen of Pentacles. That's okay. But you've got sort of this whole like family situation dealing with money here, or this. And this Knight's very good with dealing with his money. He's very, very good at it, but he's also a little bit stubborn. He's very careful. You know, he's going to invest in the slow growing, slow growing investments, not the really quick ones, but the really slow ones where you keep it in there for like 20, 30 years and don't look at it. That's what he's doing right now. And that's the energy you're being called into. Is sort of this subtle, this, not subtle, but you know, this like hold energy. Nothing is yet set in stone. I mean, maybe you need to do a little bit more of this work, this internal work, or I don't know, you know, it's just kind of an interesting energy to be called into, is this hold back, hold on, not moving forward, but looking forward, planning out what you're going to do with your money, planning out how you're going to invest things. I mean, he's very good at hard work. This could also be like doing more hard work. I mean, he's not out in the fields, but he's doing a lot of calculating and a lot of thinking, and definitely holding his horses back here. And then a possible outcome is this Hermit energy, which is mirroring this moon energy for me, this Hermit energy. And I don't usually read the signs on the cards, but this is Virgo energy. This is the Virgo card. You're being called to more self-reflection. Maybe that's why you need to hold, because you're not quite done yet. You are blooming, and maybe you're partially bloomed, but you need to hold a little bit longer, because maybe you need to, you know, this is this drained energy, and maybe you need to rest. You're just really drained and you need to rest. So you need to come into this, like, you know, you've got some internal demons here, and we thought maybe we had dealt with them with the Strength card, but there's more work to do, it looks like, internally, you know, and you want to see where this is going, but you're not going to be able to see where this is going. The Hermit's light lights up himself only, not the exterior of where he is. You're not lighting a path for anybody other than yourself. You're lighting up a path within, and to look within, and to, I don't know, to shining a light on your own demons, your own internal demons. And I think just more needs to be done. Nothing is set in stone. You aren't there yet. Maybe perhaps more surrendering, more releasing. Yeah, you need to go back. You need to go back, turn around, go back. We didn't deal with something back here, and we kind of need to. So that's sort of what's gonna where you're going, where you're headed. Maybe this is why you're stopping. You're stopping here, and you're like, did I forget something? I need to go back. I need to go back to this like self-reflection, and seeking spiritual guidance, you know, or not necessarily spiritual guidance, but seeking spiritual enlightenment within. You know, you've done a bunch of self-reflection already. So it's kind of interesting. It's just like kind of a lot of hold energy, and you're beginning to harvest the fruits of your labors, but you still, you know, there's always like one tomato on the vine. If you grow tomatoes, there's always one that's like, I don't know, 3 weeks earlier than all the rest of them. It usually tastes kind of gross. So that could be, you know, you thought it was time to harvest, but kind of wasn't yet. So heading back into Hermit mode here, and possible outcome is that you may actually be put back into Hermit mode. But you're being called to pause. Nothing's yet set in stone. You need to release more, and you need to surrender. So, all right, Virgo, I hope that was helpful for you. I hope you have a nice week in your coffin here, and get the rest that you need, because you seem to be a little mentally exhausted. Maybe you've done a lot of blooming and a lot of growing, and you just need to rest now a little bit before moving forward. Okay, So I hope that that was helpful for you, Virgo. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments. I really, really appreciate them. And they make me feel really good, and they also help my channel grow and my message find more people. So it's a win-win. Thank you.